Live, and typically it's been every Monday night, and it's a Friday night. This is like the teacher's kind of party. Here we go, Friday night special edition of Facebook Live, and this is one of the ones I'm just so excited about, and so many people's lives will be impacted because of this Facebook Live. And I'm trying to think of a way to lead into it. So let me say this. So a few years ago, everybody knows there was this just a giant hurricane that hit Houston, and I would never wish that upon anyone ever. But what I will say is, in that time of just trauma and challenge and so many obstacles, we witnessed some of the most beautiful acts of humanity ever. And this is one of those times, not just in our community here in Houston, but across the nation and the globe. And because of that, I think again we're going to see amazing, just beautiful acts of humanity. And tonight, that's what this is all about. And so first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Debbie, the founder of the Help a Teacher Facebook page. I mean, can you imagine, Debbie, just how long ago was it that you were sitting on the couch? Could you imagine that you're up to about 400,000 followers?
I know, it's just crazy. I never ever dreamed this would happen. I was just hoping to help a few teachers. So
A
it was
few.
just crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. And so I'm just wondering, there's got to be a lot of people on the page that they really don't know the story of how it all started. Is there any way you can kind of give it in a nutshell?
I watched the Florida shootings on TV. I just, what I saw was devastating and horrible. And I saw teachers gave their lives for their students' safety. And I was just moved to try to do something for teachers. I had always known that they bought their own supplies. And so I just thought, well, at least we can do that. If we send our kids to them and ask them to lay down their lives to protect them, at least we can get school supplies to them. And it just started from there and it grew. There was a need for it. So it grew like crazy because there's a need for that.
Yeah. And here's what I always say. I always think it's really the perfect recipe of there's a need for that. In addition to that, there's the teachers on one side and those people that help and give on the other side. And everyone walking around has had a teacher that has an impact on their life. And this is an opportunity for them to
Exactly.
pay it forward with a younger teacher
Mhm.
up and coming. It's been
That's
amazing.
right.
And last question about it is, at what point, I mean, there had to be a point where you thought, oh my goodness, this thing is growing.
It was, and it happened pretty quickly. Someone called me and told me that we had reached 500,000 people in 2 hours,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "What? What? How
Right.
does that happen?"
Yeah, I
You
know.
know. So
Yeah, it's been amazing. And so tonight, I think this is like the next level of helping people. And
but before we get into that, just
yes.
real quick, while we're talking about history, I just want to tell everybody how we met you,
Oh,
and that's another amazing story too. My brother, who lives in Houston, actually met Hal and called me one day, and he said, "Hey, I think you're going to want to talk to this guy. He's pretty cool." And so we talked, and Hal is amazing, and we're so grateful to have him doing these lives on Help a Teacher and coming in and showing and sharing all the things that he does. And so we're pretty grateful to you too, Hal.
I appreciate that. And let me just full disclosure, since we're being honest, is the first time I heard about Help a Teacher, I was at a school somewhere. I know it was south of Dallas. I can't think of the name right now. And a teacher was telling me about this, and I thought, what? There's no way that doesn't exist. And I didn't want to be mean. I just thought she was confused. And so I just said, oh, that's nice. I just didn't even believe it was happening. And then I went to it, and there was some other conference I was speaking at, and some teachers that came up, and I heard them talking about it. I said, now what is that? I've heard about that. They're telling me about it. And then, just kind of how the world works. Then I found through a mutual friend, I found your brother, and we connected, and it just kind of meant to be, I think, one of those God things.
It is. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, so let's bring in our new bestie for the resty, Mehrdad Hariri, and he has, I don't know, I'm not sure how to get into this. So let me give you some background on Mehrdad. He has been a pharmacist, and for, I mean, decades, 4 decades, and he was a pharmacist, owned pharmacies, and he's just like all of us. At one point in your life, you're it's all about generating an income for your family, and then you get to a point where now it's all about having an impact on others, and that's where he is. And
Sure.
so he's still working hard and doing his thing out there. And he's put together, I want him to explain it, but it's just this amazing program in healthcare.
All right. Thank you, Hal, for having me.
You know, his mother was a teacher.
Yep.
He grew up watching teachers.
I forgot.
He
Yes,
reached out-
his mama
Yeah.
was a teacher. Yeah.
He did. He
Yeah.
reached out to us a while back, and we've just become good friends. He's amazing to talk to.
For sure. Yes.
He's compassionate and caring, and
Thank
he
you.
wants to help teachers. And so he's
Right.
come up with this amazing opportunity that I'm so excited for all of the teachers and family and friends to hear about. I think it's going to change lives, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, as you said, Debbie, my mother was a teacher for almost 30 years, and she taught English. And her teaching career ended when a student near Baltimore in Virginia hit her in the knee with a hammer.
I can keep talking. You know I can.
And that was the end of her teaching. It was back in the mid 80s, I think. Anyway, she's 87. She's
He's
in
the one
kind of
that has
a
offered us
okay
the
health
prescription
right
cards.
now. Yep.
And we've been putting those on the page for a while.
Yeah.
And just letting people sign up for that. It's my understanding we've had quite a few people sign up for that, and they can take it to the pharmacy when they get their prescriptions, and it saves them money. Not every time, but frequently it saves them money. And the cards are free. The prescription cards are free.
Correct.
You can sign up. When we get off of here, we'll post it again so that everybody can see it.
Okay.
All you have to do is click on it, sign up, and you'll get a free prescription card.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's amazing. Hey, Debbie, I'm wondering, can on your end of the computer, I know all this is technology. Can you hear Mehrdad?
No, I can't.
Oh.
Have I been talking over him?
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
I have.
Well, he's gonna go ahead.
I have.
Right. So he's gonna start, and then what I'll do is when you hear me speak, this is what I'm gonna try to facilitate this whole thing. You ready?
Perfect.
Okay, here we go.
I will be
All right.
quiet for a while.
So Mehrdad, first of all, your mom was a teacher for 30 years, and I just saw a picture of her, and her and your dad are still making. Yeah, let's see.
Well, this is my son and my father. Wherever
Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go.
He just turned 100 last year, so he's
Yes.
101. They live in Chicago, and my dad was a banker and my mom was a teacher, and I watched my mom, teaching us in school and at home.
Yes.
And she was a big influence on who we are. I got an older brother and younger sister, so I always valued teachers, and I always valued the profession, valued what teachers can do. I got two boys. They're 21 and 19. They both go to college. One is in pre-law. The other one's business major, management major. So, I always told them that, hey, your grandpa was a teacher and you should respect your teachers. You should listen to what the teachers said. And, Debbie probably can, relate to that. We grew up in an area, in an era that, the teacher was, he or she was a god. If she said sit down, you would sit down. If you said turn your face, you would turn your face.
Yeah.
And, it's funny how things have changed quite a bit, compared to 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, those days are long gone. And hey, so tell us, if you could, tell us where this whole idea and how you came into this prescription card and the Teledoc business.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a pharmacist. I live in Orlando, and what happened was about 3 years ago, the pharmacy profession, healthcare in general, was changing. So I decided, after owning my pharmacies in Orlando for 25 years, to kind of, move away from pharmacy ownership and, kind of go into areas such as technology that I really liked. And I created a whole bunch of other things when I owned my pharmacy. So that's how I got into technology. And, of course, discount cards, it's a major resource for a lot of people, because, as you know, about 30 million people are uninsured or pay for their own medication, and cost is important. As a pharmacist, I know that people always, the first thing they ask you, they're not going to ask you, hey, is this good or bad, or is this drug is going to cure what I have? the first question they ask, how much is it?
Sure.
You know, it's always the first question they ask it. So, when I owned my pharmacies, we were using these cards as a way to save my customers a lot of money. So, when I sold my stores, I decided to continue that card business, and we kind of developed a system where we can provide this to a lot of folks through their own community pharmacies. Okay, so these cards are available from community pharmacies all across the country. So there are about 22,000 mom and pop community pharmacies that truly care about people. They're just as passionate as I am about their profession. They're taking care of people, and whenever they can, they would save you money. And I think research shows that most of the time, if you patronize a mom and pop pharmacy, you are actually paying a lot less than if you go to a larger chains.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could explain, what is it that you've been able to put together for Help a Teacher and all the followers and their families?
So what we do, we create these custom cards for pharmacies. So these cards, this discount card, I don't want to use the word GoodRx because I don't want to be related to in any way, shape, or form to GoodRx. But it's kind of like a GoodRx card, except we custom make it to the pharmacy. So the pharmacies would have their own logo, and they could add QR codes or these little barcodes on the card that if people scan it, would take them to a video, it would take them to a coupon, it would take them to whatever the pharmacy wants you to go. As well as you could look up prices online. So each pharmacy, because making all these resources, it's really it's outside of what a pharmacist can really do, or maybe expertise, or having the resources to actually pay for all these things. So what we do, we created these links or URLs for the pharmacies, so their customers, they can put it on their website, and their customers can go and look up prices, download cards, email cards, look up prices. It's even good for pets. They can print pet medications and so on. So what we did, for Help a Teacher, we actually created a custom card for Help a Teacher. And we are donating the funds from the use of the card to Help a Teacher. So each time this card is used at any pharmacy nationwide, all 72,000 pharmacies across the country will donate $1.50 to Help a Teacher. So just imagine if one person uses it once a day, and you said 400,000 people. If 400,000 people use it just one time, I'm not sure where Debbie's going to be, but Debbie's going to be, pretty happy and be able to provide a lot of good stuff for the teachers.
Sure.
So that's the first thing that came to my head when I started. I got, the way I got started with Help a Teacher was that it was back in late August of last year, before school started. And, I go on the Twitter and I go on Facebook, and somewhere, I'm not sure, I think it was Twitter or Facebook, I saw this thing that a teacher talked about how they can't afford buying these books or supplies or whatever they need for the classroom. And it kind of hit a chord with me. I looked at it twice, and I even showed it to my wife. I remember we were sitting downstairs in the living room, and I showed it to my wife. I said, look, these people, these teachers are, they're not getting paid a lot, but yet they have so much responsibility. On top of that, they're going to have to pay for other supplies. This is crazy.
Sure.
And just kind of like not instantaneously, but as I kept thinking and more about it, I said, well, what about these cards? And as I Googled, researched more about teachers, school supplies, a lot of course, organizations, a lot of chats, a lot of everything just came up, and I just happened to see Help a Teacher. And when I saw it, I clicked on it because it sounded like Help a Teacher, right? So I looked at it, and I just said, okay, well, this is a good place to start. Let me just go ahead and send the email. And I did. And I sent the email to Debbie to Help a Teacher. And I said, I would like to see how we can donate something to your organization. And she emailed me back, and that's how we got involved with Help a Teacher, which I'm very happy to be here and be able to help all the teachers across the country be able to get what they need. So, yeah, because I know how important it is, you know.
For sure. So, what I know what Debbie's going to do is she's going to be posting the link regularly on how to acquire the card. And so let's say there's a teacher or a family member or a friend of a teacher or a paraprofessional that would like to use the card for their prescriptions, because I can tell you this, man, I have in part of my healthcare insurance, I have a prescription covered in there, but I still I use the card because I want to see what it was worth. And like I told you earlier, I looked up one of my medications. It was a $200 savings per month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Using your card. And so a teacher would get the card, and then how would they use it? It would just go to their pharmacy, or they look up the pharmacy?
Yeah, I mean, they can go to Help a Teacher link that we provided to Help a Teacher, and there they can download, print, fax, print and save on their phone or whatever. And basically, simply just take that card to your pharmacist and say, this is a card I like to use for my medication. And there's also a tool there that you can actually look at the price before you actually go to the pharmacy. So you type in your medication, you type in the quantity, and it will pop up with the price saying it'll be $10, $20, whatever the price may be. And then that's it. That's all it takes.
Perfect. And, it's amazing.
Yeah, this link, it's Help a Teacher, and I'm not sure how we can share the link, but the link is therxcard.net / HWHHNN. But maybe Debbie, Help a Teacher, they can go ahead and put that on the on the page there. Everybody can take advantage of it. So
we'll post it in the comments. In addition to that, I know she posts it regularly.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that I like to mention is, it's not just a reduction in the price. The way our card is designed, and that's how we promote it to the community pharmacies, is that you could combine a manufacturer's coupon with that card, meaning that, for instance, the medication is $100, and you would go and give your card to the pharmacist. He's going to say, well, it's going to be $90. And let's say that particular medication has a coupon or a voucher through the manufacturer, say $50 off. The pharmacist can apply that coupon as a secondary to the primary, and it will reduce the cost even more by $50 more. So there's about 4,000 drugs with coupons that we have in our database. And if you ask your pharmacist, he'll be able to help you with that. Or if you don't, you can always, you have my contact. They can email me, or they can email me a list of your meds or whatever. I'd be more than happy to provide you with the savings that you can have, or coupons that may be available for your medication. And these are mainly brand name medications too.
Right. And as far as you know, is this in all 50 states?
All 50 states. And we're good at all major chains: Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Kroger's, Rite Aid, and 22,000 community independent pharmacies. They all accept the card.
And Debbie's going to post the link right now. And in addition to that, I know we have Target and Kroger and HEB and CVS and Walgreens and Walmart, all that within a mile of my house. But there's also community pharmacy that's independently owned, and those are the ones I try to go to.
Sure.
Yep. Hey, now also in addition to this is amazing, of course, but also tell me about the telemedicine thing you have going on.
Okay, well, let me just give you a quick introduction about what telemedicine is. I mean, telemedicine, of course, the first time it was used is back in 1958, and they used telemedicine to treat astronauts, out in space, believe it or not, orbiting the Earth or whatever they were doing. And but in the last 5 or 6 years, telemedicine has become a major tool or a resource for everyone to use in order to reduce their out-of-pocket costs, or to, if they're concerned about a disease or condition or anything else, that they can consult a physician using any kind of a mobile device, such as an iPhone or an iPad or on a PC, just like we're doing right now. And it's basically the same type of a consult. So The name of the program is AlereRx, ALERERX, which is the means healing. Alere means heal in Latin.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, once somebody signs up for our service, they have access to over 4,000 US-based board-certified physicians, 24/7, 365 days a year. The way you can picture it is just kind of like an Uber app. You know how you get an Uber app or a Lyft or something, and you say, well, I want a cab. It geolocates you. Then it says, well, it'll be 15 minutes before the ride arrives. This is the same thing, that we're providing doctors with a tool or app that they can log in, and or they can already pre-program it for the days or times of the week that they'll be available. And patients download the app. They log in using the ID and group number that we provide them. And then once they enter the app, there's a lot of things that you can do with it. We provide Aetna discount dental, vision, lab, MRI, and CAT scan discount, as well as pet medications and supplies, as well as it can also include dermatology and psychiatry. So you see a board certified psychiatrist, you see a board certified dermatologist. I mean, that could save you a ton of money, especially with dermatologists. A psychiatrist, I mean, they generally, what do? They just talk to you right there. So you can be just talking to them right there. You don't have to go to see the doctor,
Yeah.
So basically what we offer is an unlimited plan. So the individuals or the members can see the doctor as many times as they want, 24/7, and that's for a family of 5. So when we enroll, it's a husband and wife and 3 kids can enroll for the same price, which is $24.99 per month, which includes all the dental discount and lab, vision, and everything else that we just talked about,
Yeah, so that for the $24.99 a month. So if my kid gets sick, he's 14, he's always around germs and all kinds of stuff at school. And he probably doesn't bathe enough either, honestly. And so he gets sick. So and I know he's got a cold. So what I can do is I use the Teledoc. Is there an additional fee when we use it?
No, you basically you just have the app, you log into your app, biometric.
There's no copay.
And then you just schedule a call. You can even schedule a call. Let's say you're at work and you won't be home till 7:00 tonight. You just can select the time at 7:00. At 7:00, the doctor will call you, and you can talk to the doctor either via a phone call consultation or a video, just like we're doing right now. The same thing, And so it's a great value to have, and especially these days with coronavirus, the COVID-19 that we're all panicking about, and the pandemic that was that we have going right now, which I hope it kind of contains itself at this point and it doesn't spread beyond where it's at right now.
Yeah.
But just imagine, we've had a ton of calls, and tons of pharmacies are calling, and they just want to know how they can provide this to their patient. As a matter of fact, there's a video that I put on our Facebook, AlereRx Facebook, that I kind of recorded it last night. It was on Fox News Channel. Martha McCollum and Seema Verma, which she's the administrator for CMS. She was talking about not really going if you're feeling sick or you're feeling you may be coming down with something, don't go right in your car, go to the doctor's office, crowd up the office, because they already are inundated by calls and phone calls and people coming in and out and everything. And in case you have the coronavirus, you could be spreading it to other people in the office, number one. And number two, it's just it's better if you just sit home and let the doctor see you, and he's going to tell you ask for your symptoms, ask you for all your problems that you may be having, and if there's a medication that he can prescribe, he would electronically send the prescription to your pharmacy of choice, which you can go pick up and use, like Forrest Help a Teacher card, right? Save you more money, right? So that's the program. It's very simple. There's no catch to it. There's you could also include dermatology and psychiatry and pet medications and supplies. I mean, we partner up with PetCareRx.com. It's kind of like Chewy. And when you have put the code in that's in your app, you get 25% off all purchases, as well as you get veterinarian office visits. You get 25% off Fifi's doctor visit, So, I mean, it actually pays for itself over and over again. And then if you sign up for the whole year, it brings the cost down to like $22 a month for a family of 5,
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 5 people. I mean, in the same household, whether they're related or not. Is that correct?
Correct. Right. As long as it's the same household, because all the enrollment package cards, because within the 7 days after you sign up for it, you will get a enrollment package come to your. It's a big fat envelope with your ID card, just like an insurance packet that comes to your house.
Right.
It will come to your house, and you have your cards, and the booklet explains all the benefits that you can read and use.
Yeah, this is why I love it. Is thinking back to when I was in the classroom full time, and I remember years ago, a teacher, I'd get health insurance, and everybody was on the plan, and then after some time passed, you had to start eliminating. It just got way too expensive to have the wife and to have kids on the plan. And so what this would have been amazing for is what we could have done is still I had my personal health insurance through the school district, but we get that catastrophic health insurance for the rest of the family, but they could use this for when they get the cold or when they get a flu or when they get those types of things.
Right. Well, I mean,
which is all we ever go to school for.
Yeah, you made a good point, because most people, the way the health insurance industry is going, they're going to a high deductible plan. So like myself, I have my family have a $6,500 deductible. So every year I spend all that money going to the doctor. In December we spend only $4,000, and January turns into zero again, and we start the whole cycle again one more time. So instead of spending all that money, in co-pays and things like that, go to the doctor's office. You could be using the telemedicine to reduce that cost, because you're not going to meet your deductible or for the year. So just use the card whenever you can. Plus, it's convenient. Let's say if you're traveling, if you're across the country and another state, it doesn't matter where you're at. The app is good.
Yeah. And Debbie was reminding me is I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the doctor, and I've got a cold or I'm sick, I have the flu or something, and I'm sitting there and the entire waiting room is all sick and they're all coughing. I'm looking at it thinking, what can I believe I'm sitting here? I'm already sick. There's no telling what else I'm going to get. Right. And at least I can stay quarantined in my own home and just get these people sick rather than get.
I mean, it's a big convenience. I mean, it's just
really
just driving to the doctor's office, having to wait 15, 20 minutes at the lobby, then wait another 15, 20 minutes in the room. And then the doctor walks in and says, "Hey, how you doing? What do you have? A runny nose? Congestion? Okay, well, let me give you some medication, antibiotic, and send you home." And they're like, and you're like, okay, so you could have just done that over the phone, right? Or anything else. So, I mean, the telemedicine is not designed to treat any kind of chronic conditions like diabetes, strokes, heart disease, and things like that. Those you still need to go see the doctor. You can use telemedicine for anything such as a cough, cold, eye, ear, back, shoulder, arthritis, flu, rosacea, acne, anything that, is kind of a, the doctor kind of looks at you and says, yeah, okay, let me give you something to send you home, which is about 60-70% of the time. That's what it is,
And for sure.
You waste 2 or 3 hours from and to the doctor's office just for him to give you a prescription. So you can see the doctor and usually in 10 minutes or less. But I have to tell you that last week or so with all the COVID-19, our wait time right now is about an hour, and which is, it's kind of like everybody's calling. So we appreciate everybody's patience when they call. I mean, we try to route these calls to as many doctors as possible, and they're taking calls left and right. The only thing is that right now everybody's panicking. Everybody think they got COVID, which all they probably have is some dehydration or maybe beginning of a sinus infection or something. They think that they got the coronavirus. So just to call in. Right.
Yeah. And in addition, I know the wait time sounds a little extreme. However, I will tell you this, just like James was saying, I don't know about, but by the time what it takes to get me to get out of the house, get in my car, drive over, then I have to park, then I have to get in the waiting room and all that and wait and then come home. I'd much rather spend an hour in my own home.
In the rain, in the cold.
Debbie,
yeah.
I was going to say, Debbie has joined us again. And Debbie, have you had an opportunity to use the telemedicine?
I have actually, and it is absolutely fabulous, and it works just exactly like you said it would. I was actually on my computer listening so that I could hear everything that was being said, so I'd be up to speed. And yes, I have, and it's amazing. You just sign up for it, and then you can actually place a phone call. And I had a doctor call me right back and talk to me and tell me what I needed to do for my cold. And yes, it was fabulous. I hate going to the doctor. I hate the time. I hate sitting there. I hate looking around, wondering what else I'm going to pick up. It was wonderful. I called from my home. He was super nice. Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah. This is amazing. And man, I can't Mehrdad, I can't thank you enough. And Debbie, the fact that you guys been able to meet and connect and bring all this to all the followers of now almost 400,000 followers at Help a Teacher is amazing.
Hey, Hal, what I'd like to add right now is that, because of the pandemic that was announced earlier this week, we actually dropped the cost of the telemedicine to only $14.99. And Debbie has the link. And what I'd like to announce is that we would like to give, and I'm going to give the details to Debbie, and she can follow up or follow her up on the Twitter or Facebook or something. We'd like to give away 100 free telemedicines for a whole month. And she has all the links and everything, and she'll give you all the details on how to enter. So the first 100 people that sign up, they'll get 30 days for free. After that, it'll be just $14.99 for the teachers.
I love it.
The link is already up.
That's for 5 people. That's for 5 people.
Yeah, 5 people. And then and so Debbie says the link is already up and ready to go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then what we'll do is, I know Debbie mentioned that she'll be posting the link regularly throughout these coming weeks. And thank you so much, Debbie. We really appreciate you making all this happen for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you, Debbie.
I'm so excited for everybody.
You're wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Hal. Bye, Debbie. Bye, Hal.
Help a Teacher.
Bye.
We appreciate all of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.